Have you ever dipped your toes into learning Japanese? Watched an anime or read a manga? If you have, you've absolutely heard the sound we're looking at today. It's short, it's punchy, and it is arguably the single most crucial building block for casual Japanese. We're talking about da. In this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly how this tiny character works and why it's the absolute key to unlocking natural, everyday conversations. All right, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to quickly hit 6 sections. What is da? The core rulebook, time and negation, adding particles and emotion, nuance in real conversation, and finally, avoiding common mistakes. Section 1. What is da? Essentially, the casual equivalent of this. So in English, we rely heavily on linking verbs, am, is, are, to connect a subject to a description. But Japanese functions a bit differently. Da is essentially a state of being or equivalence. I really want you to think of it less as a verb and way more like an equal sign placed right at the end of a sentence. It directly cements the relationship between a topic and its description. You basically use it to declare what something is or to describe its state in a casual setting. To see the real-world impact of this, let's look at the word for friend. Using tomodachi desu with the polite des is meant for strangers or superiors to show respect. But swap that out for the casual da, giving us tomodachi da, and you instantly shift the relationship dynamic. Swapping that polite ending for the casual one tells the listener, hey, we're close enough to speak casually. Section 2, the core rulebook. Let's see what actually gets the green light. So, what can we attach this equal sign to? Nouns definitely get a green light. It's as simple as taking a word like neko, meaning cat, and adding da at the end. Neko da. It's a cat. Na-adjectives also get a green light. Just remember, you drop the na before attaching da. So, shizukana, meaning quiet, simply becomes shizukara. It is quiet. But, and this is a big but, we have 2 massive third lights. Verbs and i-adjectives. Do not pass go, literally, do not attach da to them. Let's bust a major beginner myth right here. A lot of learners assume that all sentences need a copula, or an equal sign, at the end to be grammatically correct. Not true at all. The verb taberu, meaning I will eat, and the i-adjective, samui, meaning it is cold, are perfectly complete on their own. In Japanese, i-adjectives act a lot like verbs, so they form the predicate entirely on their own. They flat out reject our equal sign. Writing taberu da or samui da is a total grammatical error. No need for the equal sign there. Moving right along section 3, time and negation. Basically traveling through time with da. This is where things get really fun. That actually shapeshifts depending on the tense and truth of the statement. Our base is the present affirmative, the. But say you want to casually point out something isn't the case, like saying it's not meat. You replace the entirely with janai. What about the past? To say something was, you use datta. Like ame datta means it was rainy. And finally, for the past negative, saying something wasn't the case, we use ja nakatta. For example, byoki ja nakatta means I wasn't sick. It's a simple little grid, but mastering these 4 forms is an absolute game changer for your conversational freedom. Section 4, adding particles and emotion. This is where we add that conversational flavor. Native Japanese speakers rarely just end on a bare sentence. They rely heavily on particles to add rhythm and feeling, and da acts as the perfect foundation for that. Take honto da yo. Honto means true. By slapping the particle yo onto our equal sign, the speaker is sharing new information with a bit of punch. It's like saying, it's true, Now compare that to ii tenki da ne. Here, adding the particle ne to da invites agreement. It seeks empathy from the listener, softening the statement into, nice weather, isn't it? Section 5. Nuance in real conversation. Let's talk about the art of dropping da. Here's something absolutely crucial. While da is essential for writing and basic casual grammar, speaking it out loud, completely bare, can actually sound very direct, assertive, and honestly, a bit blunt. It flatly states a fact. Historically, masculine speech tended to retain this crisp, decisive tone at the end of sentences, while feminine speech leaned toward dropping the da entirely or using softer particles to sound gentler. Now, while those gendered lines are definitely blurring in modern Japanese, using a bare da still carries a strong, assertive vibe. That's exactly why people frequently drop it, just to make the conversation feel a bit more relaxed. All right, final stretch. Section 6, avoiding common mistakes. Let's do a quick rapid-fire review. Here's your first challenge. Imagine you want to casually ask a friend if tomorrow is a day off. You know asata is tomorrow, and yasumi is a day off. So, is it natural to ask, ashita wa yasumi da, with a question mark at the end? Think about what we just learned about sounding direct. If you guessed unnatural, you totally nailed it. In casual spoken questions, keeping that assertive the sounds incredibly awkward. You basically never use it in a question. Instead, you drop it entirely from the predicate. Just state the noun and use a rising intonation at the end of the word. So you'd simply say, ashita wa yasumi? Easy, right? Okay, let's throw another trick question at you. Let's say you're talking to your boss, so you know you need to be polite. You've learned that des is polite and da is our casual equal sign. So, can you combine them and say neko desta to be extra super polite? No way! You can absolutely never stack politeness markers on the predicate like that. You gotta pick your lane. You use either da for a casual statement with a friend, or you use this for a polite statement with a superior or stranger. They fulfill the exact same grammatical role, so using both together is literally like trying to put two steering wheels in one car. It just doesn't work. And that brings us to the end of this explainer. You now know that this tiny character is so much more than just a simple word. It's practically the conversational glue of casual Japanese. It commands tense, it welcomes emotion through particles, and its presence, or its purposeful absence, tells you exactly what kind of relationship two speakers have. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Knowing da is an equal sign that defines relationships and assertiveness, how is this going to completely change the way you listen to your favorite anime or read your next manga? Next time you're watching, actively listen for when characters use it, when they soften it with a particle, or when they drop it entirely. You are going to be amazed at the nuances you pick up. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep on learning.